So we got Giordano in the house. Welcome. Give me a sec here. We'll get everything set up just exactly right. Let's see here. Okay. There we go. Alright, got Giordano dildo faggots. Bugard will hunt you down if you don't watch this. Yeah, that would be a pretty scary proposition. Catch these hands, Colin. Hang on. We got Casey in the house, Saxman, Gearhead, Xenomorph, David Gray, what up? Zelda Godzilla. Which next tier 10 ship should they add to the game? That's a good question. I don't know anything about the tier 10s. I kind of liked Ho a little bit better. Aoba. Yeah, I'll play like a warm-up game or two. I'll probably mostly focus on tier 7 cruisers. Christopher, what up? Damien. Hipper, yeah, we'll get some Hipper, Megami, yep. Let's see. Played a couple warm-up games earlier. Kyle, what up? Pensacola. Oh. I don't know if I got the patience for the Pensacola today. Hopefully my voice holds up. I got a little bit of a lingering cough. Spent a little too much time in Wuhan, I think. James, what up? Hello, hello. Let's see, what do I got? I think it's... Oops. I think we're right on the verge of getting this. Yeah, we need 3 more promotion orders to get Yamamoto up 3 levels. That's my main goal. I got him 12 right now. I want him 15. So we need 15 promotion orders and then a couple 3 insignias, so... He'll be up and running for the British cruisers. I would recommend getting him going if you're planning on grinding that line. They're, of course, going to fire only AP like the Danae does. Missouri, yeah, that'd probably be the popular one. I don't know. It'll be interesting. We'll see. I mean, you got to keep in mind this whole legendary tier Yamamoto thing is just a test. They're trying to get data on how the ships would perform in various situations. And then my guess is we'll see some sort of tier 8 / legendary tier or whatever towards the end of 2020 would be my guess. I have no idea though. They don't really do a detailed roadmap in general. Show them how it's done. Yeah, we'll see what happens. How's the hunting today? So far, I played a couple of Marbleheads and DeGrasse. And I've been getting about double my team's XP, which is not a good sign. a lot of people playing on the Sunday here. Better be playing with a face mask and rubber gloves, yeah. Baltimore will be playing. I tried to play the Baltimore once last night. That ship is... I think the Baltimore is kind of designed for division play. And it's kind of designed for domination mode, so it's a very situational ship, in my opinion. I mean, you could do well in it in any situation, but it's not the easiest tier 7 cruiser. I'd say it's the worst tier 7 cruiser and probably the hardest, in my opinion. But we'll play it. Let's check it out. Haven't been to it yet. Pensacola is the Citadel Magnet, yes. Shimakaze. Yeah, well, so, I mean, I predict all these ships will be coming. We'll just see how long it takes and if they slot them into tier 8. Everybody wants them to put tier 10 in, or 10 tiers. You got to keep in mind one of those tiers that we're missing is like a low. It'd be a tier 1, tier 2, something in that range. That has no interest to me whatsoever. I mean, I sell all those ships anyways. Tier 8, possibly 9, though. I could see those coming. Alaska, yeah. Omaha. Hey, what's up? Clemenem? Alright, well, let's see what I got to do. I think we could play a DeGrasse to warm up. Yeah, we need tier 5, so that'll put us at 50. Let's see if we can win a tier 5 game and get that taken care of. Kamikaze, I got another 130k game. We could make a video of that. I could put up a Kamikaze game every week, conceivably. Well, let's fire this guy up. I'm running Lemon at the moment. So what kind of ships would I like to see? Yeah, I mean, hopefully that'd be a good mix. I don't know. I mean, they've given us no clues as to how it works. I don't even think they at Wargaming know exactly what they're planning on doing. Maybe they do. Present legendary tiers thoroughly clown shoes. Yeah, I mean it's a test, which is why I kind of did not agree with them changing the 4v4. It's not that big of a deal. I don't think the Yamamotos are that dangerous. They're kind of fun to have around because you can get some good damage on them. How do I feel about the state of Walls Legends Reddit? I don't know, I'll look at it for a couple minutes every day when I'm taking a shit, but I think they're responsible for some problems and some good things. Needs to add tier 8, yeah. That's what, I mean, legendary tier could just be tier 8 for all we know. But by calling it legendary, it makes it sound cool or something. Anyway, let's see. We got no one spotting over here. That's a problem. Oh, there's no destroyers in this game, though, so that's alright. Where are the French destroyers? Hey, Owen, what's happening? French destroyers are pretty new on PC, from what I understand, so I would expect to see them down the pipe. We obviously get British cruisers in about a week, and then I would guess after that we're probably going to see some Soviets. Destroyers / cruisers would be my guess. Here we got this island right here. As long as someone's spotting for us, this is a pretty strong position. Just kind of shoot over this. What's up, Chief? I don't know why this guy's stopping, but it's alright. Laga, we're gonna shoot HE at. It's not gonna stand up to the AP shells. We can talk about penetration and all that stuff. I've been seeing a lot of questions about overpens, how they work, and does Yamamoto increase overpens? I guess the short answer, what AP penetration perks and skills do are reduce the number of shatters. You can see that second icon that pops up every time we land a shot is the shattered. And basically you're converting shatters into either overpens or full penetrations. I would guess most of them would be full penetrations. But even getting a little bit of chip damage here and there with the overpen is better than a shatter. DeGrasse, yeah, we're doing a little bit of warm up here. I'm trying to get Yamamoto up to level 15, which I'm 3 promotion orders away from, so if we can win this game, which it doesn't look likely, we got a black hole in the northwest of the map, which serves absolutely no purpose, and then we're obviously getting our shit kicked over here, which isn't good. But it's not over yet. But anyway, that's my goal for the immediate future. Then we'll be playing some tier 7s.
The ship is on fire.
Nice shot. Whoever shot that. Alright, so that fire is essentially a death sentence on that guy now. We don't really need to worry about him. shot-wise coming in, he might be able to hit us, but not likely. Oh, no, I did have a damage con. That is interesting. I thought he just damage con. Oh, look out, Sparky.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
But yeah, these islands, if you can get someone to spot for them, there's a mirrored one on the south side. This is actually a really strong spot over here. You can see, if you watch my video on this map, you can see these guys are doing it. Now, they already captured B, so coming over here isn't necessarily a bad idea. That video was mainly about capture the base mode, but they're doing what they typically do, which they're all kind of trending over here. The guys above C, I mean, what the fuck are you doing over there? That is pathetic. You got 5 ships that can't take out 1 cruiser and capture that base. Seem to run in the black hole theory a lot. Yeah, unfortunately it's quite prevalent. I don't know why. It's not a good play, but Tater's gonna Tate, I guess. Alright, so we lost our spotter there, I believe. This guy's probably getting spotted by a plane at the moment. But at this point we need to think about leaving here. We're probably gonna, well, this Koenig could kill us. But this position isn't going to work anymore. And he's actually within our detection range, which is a problem. Where's this cruiser? Yeah. That's alright. Let's try and get rid of the New York before we get out of here. Pop speed boost. I mean, if I were on these ships and the DeGrasse was doing what I'm doing, I'd be dead right now, but god damn it. So, I mean, we gave our team the tools. We slowed down this push over here. They still have not captured. I mean, this is odd. It's 3-3 on the scoreboard in terms of ships. This is a loss all day long, in my opinion. I don't know how we could possibly win this. Aside from sheer incompetence. Oof. So, I don't think we're going to get our promotion orders this game, unfortunately. Why don't I stream on Twitch? I'm leaving that possibility open. I mean, right now, I don't know how many of my viewers on YouTube would go over to Twitch. It's a big unknown. I guess I should maybe do some research. But I don't know. I think it's easier for the people that follow me on YouTube to get notified that I'm streaming on YouTube. Your team clustered in the base, but you won. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't win by it. I just don't think it's a good strategy. And these guys hovering behind C, like, this game is domination mode. You should think about it as like an actual battle. Like, we're trying to control swatches of the map. So hovering behind C up here, you're not controlling anything strategically valuable. And now, I mean, this Texas, well, whatever. We're not going to rip these teammates too bad, but anyway, I mean, 60k is not a horrible game. You run into TiVo all the time, except for when he's streaming. Hey, heck, what's happening? You ran into me last night on Pierce? Yeah, I see a lot of people all the time. Get a lot of messages from people saying, hey. Alright, well, I think I've played 4 games this morning, and all of them have just been interesting in terms of teams. Let's just put it that way. We can bust out these cruisers. I think I should maybe destroy 10 ships. Fuck. I don't think we killed anyone last game. Let's try an Otago, see if we can. Not a big audience for Walls Legends on Twitch. Yeah, that's I haven't actually done a whole lot of research into it, but the 1 or 2 times that I've looked for streams on there, it's been like 20 people watching for the entirety of the game, so that's... Twitch is toxic. Yeah, exactly. While I was on Twitch seems to be pretty big. I don't know. Mad Dog M. What up? Well, I'm not gonna rule it out. I mean, my Twitch channel, there's a link to that in the description, I believe, of this and any video that I post normally. So if you want to follow me on there, someday I might try it just to see how it goes on there. But Weekend Warriors, yeah. Yeah. Not a lot we can do about it. Alright, so let's see. We got a Baltimore and Atlanta are the 2 radars. There's 2 destroyers in our team, 1 on theirs. Excuse me. So those are my primary targets. Burning battleships. Here we get the center spot on estuary. I kind of like to plop down right about here, and you can see on the map the white circle. We already have coverage of the entirety of the objectives from this position, so it's a pretty strong spot. Teams weren't too bad last night. You must have had different teams. I got home late last night and played a few games. Pretty frustrated. I wish I had more time to stream during the week, because you tend to get better teams during the week, but usually the only time I have a good chunk of free time all at once is on the weekends. Alright, let's pop the plane here. There's the Baltimore.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
Ow. Hey, man, what's happening, my boy? Yeah, I asked Wargaming about the flags the other day. And, because someone brought it up last stream or on one of the videos on the comments, I can't remember what, but... Let's see, this cruiser on the map looks like it might be heading our way. We're gonna put some torps right here, just in case. Gonna try and hug that island. With the idea that people coming around the bend usually turn hard right on the island there. Megami. So he's not coming this way, but I think that's a decent torp strategy there. Fortunately, these little buggers are not in the spot I can shoot them.
Attention. Reporting the target position. Roger.
Now this, you gotta, alright, we are getting targeted. I was just about to say, you gotta be real careful here when you're sitting broadside. They're gonna have a harder time shooting me. These battleships tend to have lower trajectories than cruisers, but... And this is using our mobility to our advantage, because we can outmaneuver that Iowa. And we can kind of go back and forth. Try and keep them in that gap. Oh. Oh, this guy looks like he could fuck me up. What the well. That was lucky. That guy conceivably could have one-shot me there. Nelson's got short fuse AP. It's pretty strong on cruisers. Not the most common ship you're going to see, but do need to be careful of it. We're going to try and wait here and get some shots on this Iowa. I don't know what this Megami... I mean, I guess he's probably shooting over here into these guys, but... Looking on the map, it just doesn't seem like it's at the best positioning. And if you guys are wondering, I tried Yamamoto as an actual commander. I think I played what the hell's the tier 6 Mayoko game. Turret traverse on that guy is abysmal. So in terms of playing like an open water kiting dodging type of style, I think Yamamoto makes it extremely hard. I haven't tested him out yet fully, but I think Mikawa is probably the way to go up and down the entirety of the line.
All stations requesting fire on the designated.
Fire chance is already really solid. I mean, upping it a couple more percent's obviously going to get more damage, but... Alright, what's going on here? Hey, Ben, what's happening? John Bart, number 1. Yeah, that's... Is this the week we're all going to get him? Yeah, this is the last week of the campaign. That's one of those ships that, when they took it away, it was... a sad day. John Bart's a beast, there's no doubt about it. It's accurate as hell. Yeah, I think I got a couple 200k games, give or take. Oh, here's our boy, the Jervis.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Shoot him. He missed him! Oh my god. There you go. Gotta hit that shot. Console hasn't learned to blow the guns off yet. Some people do. I mean, yeah, obviously the people on the PC have a lot more experience and should be, in general, better, but... Yeah. So this York, shit. Looking at my map, it looks like he's probably going to be out of range by the time we sight him again. I was going to say, we can move forward and duel this York. If he's going to do damage to me, it's going to be through AP. This Atago's got good enough armor that I can bounce cruiser AP pretty readily. So if that York is there, for instance, dead ahead, and I got an angle like this or shallower, then he really can't damage me. HE, yes, he can do a little bit of damage, but he's got far worse HE shells than I do, so... Here's our boy, the Nelson. What's up, Gremlin? Should you run secondary battery mod on Kondo? No, I would not recommend secondary battery mod on the Japanese. They have good secondaries, but
Fighter returning to ship.
it's not... Japanese battleships in general don't do that great dueling close range in most situations. Rogue PLs. Oops. Is he shooting AP? No.
Ship is on fire.
As long as this guy's shooting HE, I'm not too concerned about him. Oops. Of course, if I can't aim, then he'll eventually kill me. God, this Benson's going crazy. Fire damage is all light damage. I can heal that now. Well, the Otago always had a heal, but tier 7 cruisers can now heal light damage, so not worried about a fire whatsoever. Whatever just shot me from that side, though, that's a little more concerning. Alright. Now we're gonna have to get out of here. So this is something you need to think about playing cruisers. You gotta stop shooting and disengage. Now this battleship, the Nelson's close enough to detect me, but we do have the island blocking. We're gonna put that fire out to help our detection once the range drops, and now we're unspotted again. This is a good thing you need to work on identifying, you know, use it as a tool. We're disengaging right now. We can't get shot. I can reposition, take my time, let their attention go to someone else. And that's a key part of cruiser survivability. When that gets hot, me one-on-one-ing this York, it was not hot. But when these guys have access to my broadside here, that's a major problem. These guys can kill me in one salvo. And I don't want that to happen. Because the longer I stay alive, the more damage you're going to do, the more likely we are to win in that situation, obviously. So we drop the firing. I mean, this York on the map, is he having any impact on the game whatsoever right now? Only to the extent that we follow him over there. He's not controlling any ground that's strategically relevant to anything. We have 3 caps. We have 500 more points than them, so how the that is just sad when we have a 1-ship lead on a 450 point. Play the fucking objectives, people. No one to hold them, no one to float them. Yeah, Nelson is susceptible to HE spam. I don't recall the armor schemes, but I think the armor's thin enough that the HE shells for most of these ships should be able to penetrate. Let's see, what do we got here? Let's try and get a torp on. Oh, he's dead, alright. Got a battleship, or a cruiser there. Use those planes, even if you can't see the ship, you can get an idea of where they are. Baltimore's coming around broadside, and we're undetected again. This is another advantage of our concealment here. We're just going to wait for these shells to switch over to AP, and then hopefully just rail this guy right up the rear end would be the goal. Looks like he's stopping, so he's going to survive that one, but 6K, I mean, yeah, okay. Non-citadel shots, but still a problem for him. Atlanta's already over there as well. I mean, this... If we lose another ship, I'm probably just going to sail away and win the game here, because this is getting a little too hot to handle. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So easy enough. But I kind of want to focus on Tier 7 cruisers today, because a lot of people, both in my comments, Discord, Reddit, those are kind of sources of feedback I get. They're saying cruisers are really hard for them, especially Tier 7. They're not competitive. I mean, was that a barn burn of a game? Not necessarily, but we did double our HP and damage. And I'll go more into that theory as the time goes on. What's up, Ben? Looking forward to getting the John Bart. Yeah. Yeah, it's, I think... Let's just check the campaign. Alright, so I got all the points, so if you've gotten everything up to now, you got 86, so it really shouldn't be that hard to finish this off. Doesn't look like there's much interesting left. I mean, you got about 15,000 green stars, which are nice. $25 mil can be overmatched. Yeah. Yeah, the Nelson is not easy. I don't find that ship to be that easy to play either. What am I saying about the flags? Yeah, okay, so how do we look at a flag? Let's see. So I only have 4 flags, and most of these are not. Alpha tester flag. I was an alpha tester, so they gave us that one. Early adopter, this was one for people that joined within the first 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months. I can't remember what it was, but a lot of people that joined the game early have this. Founders Edition, this was a bundle of ships, the Gremiyashi, the Marblehead, Iwaki, and Arkansas. That was available for a very steep price when the game came out. I bought that. And you got this and this from both of them. So these are both from the Founders Edition. This is Early Adopter. This is Alpha Tester. So if you're just joining the game now, you don't have any flags, and I don't know when you're going to get them. I asked them about the flags on our community contributor Discord, and they said, I think the way I phrased it was, why don't we give flags as part of the reward ship for completing the campaign? especially if they're going to keep putting them in the stores for free XP. I thought that'd be kind of a cool way to commemorate the people that actually completed the campaign, but their response was, that's kind of what the patches are for. So I don't know how often the flags are going to come out, but they're going to be pretty damn rare unless you buy a premium ship with like the ultimate package. I don't even know if they sell those still. Let's see. Usually when a premium comes out, it has like a package that doubles the price, and like the main part of that is the flag. So personally for me, it's never been worth the cost. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, right now I'd just say you're probably not going to have a flag if you don't have one already. In the foreseeable future, at least. Let me play one more DeGraw. I do want to get that commander boosted. Alright, let's play in Indianapolis. I haven't played that ship for a while. It's always good to play on stream when I have no idea how to play something. I did kind of switch Norm Scott. I had him set up purely as the light cruiser commander. How do I look at him? So basically, I think the only thing I changed was this to this. Because for the non-light cruisers, you want to be shooting a lot of AP when possible. And getting the extra range doesn't hurt. A lot of people are going to be inclined to use this on the heavy cruisers, which I understand. I still think the early warning indicator is pretty nice. Plus the increased fire dispersion, and that's pretty powerful. So I'd still stand by that one. Let's just play the Indy and see if it's worth a damn. Playing the Gami with the Yamamoto. We can try that. I want to get them leveled up to at least 15. That's what I got Mikawa at. Then I can kind of more accurately test the efficacy of both of those commanders. But early results, early indications, in my opinion, strongly point to Mikawa continuing to be the best commander. It's such a disadvantage in my mind when you go from the defensive commander to the offensive commander and lose that indicator that says you're targeted. Especially for people that are complaining cruisers are hard, I'm getting one shot. Well, if you have an indicator that's saying you have 1 ship, 4 ships, 10 ships targeting you, that helps you a lot, because if you have that, then you can say mentally, okay, I'm fucked right now. Let's stop shooting, try and disengage, reposition, or dodge, or whatever. But increasing your damage output by 5% by using the offensive commander, if you're gonna survive for less time, then you're gonna get less damage. 5% damage increase is not that huge. Alright, so on this side, this is a capture the base mode. This is kind of what I'm talking about on that video. I do want to hold this side here. Playing this position, this island right here becomes a major problem, because it blocks a lot of disengagement. So I should probably turn my guns the other way. You always want to be, when you're moving into a position, you should be considering, how do I get out of this when things get sticky? And they're going to get sticky sooner or later. Expected group, we should have something there, and we should have something here. So this is actually... God damn it. Yeah, 2 of our destroyers are in the division. And we got the classic middle spawn going to the western spawn. So this is already off to a bad start. I'd say it's more... We probably have about a 30 to 40% chance of winning right now. And there's been 0 shots fired. And that's how important this positioning is on this map. If you spawn in the center and you go over to the west here, you're conceding a big... you're conceding a lot to do that. Let's just put it that way. Tracks fire like no tomorrow, because it's really squishy. It's not a... You don't want to get confused by it being called a heavy cruiser. That doesn't have anything to do with the armor. That's the caliber of the guns. And this is not a heavily... It's got some armor, but it's not going to protect you from battleship fire. And then this cutout center thing in between the 2 smokestacks, you get these flat little surfaces where AP shells are going to have a better time penetrating. This guy's fucked. Let's see if we can save him, but I don't think we'll be able to. Nice shot, at least. Well, I mean, that's too bad. I mean, you're giving up a whole full HP battleship to a cruiser or a destroyer. Not a good trade on paper, but that Akatsuki could have been a problem later. Oops, I thought I had HE, so I was trying to switch to the AP, but apparently not. Nope, look out. I'm gonna drop spot here and try and disengage. These American cruisers really not that mobile. They're not good at open water dodging type of play. Because of Rune's DDs. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a good point, too. I mean, I target radar cruisers because of the threat they present to your DDs. So, that was an omission when I was answering that question. It's a ship that you should prioritize in killing. It has the longest radar in the game. It's 10 kilometers. So any destroyer in 10 kilometers of the ship can be spotted at any time for 30 seconds, give or take. Which is a major problem for those destroyers. Here we have people trying to torp destroyers. Okay. He got that Byron or whatever the hell that was just wrecked that guy. He hit him with, looked like about 5 shells. And here, I'm not inclined to press. They have 4 to 5 ships up north there. We have 1 to 2. We're both disengaging. Pushing into them, not a good idea. But killing this Fubuki, if we can do that, that's a main goal of ours right now. And then because these guys up north are being so passive, we can potentially try and clean out this western side and then converge on them that way. But these guys, their north spawn is being far too passive in this situation. Alright. The Fubuki, I could probably light him up right now with the radar. I doubt I could shoot him, though. And I do want to be able to kill him by using that radar. Over 6K subs. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, the support on the channel's been awesome. Let's see if we can hit that. So we're getting spotted here. Could be a cruiser, but it might be a destroyer as well. You have to keep that in mind. Crash be my ass. God damn it. This guy right here, the Nuremberg, the full health Nuremberg had that Fubuki like 2 kilometers away from him and he let him go. That's really unfortunate. What's up, cowboys? Hey, none. What's going on, guys? Victor Einstein, yeah, he keeps getting pushed back, unfortunately, because a lot of things are changing, but he's kind of who I have slated for the heavy cruisers, the Indy, the Baltimore for sure, and then we'll see how well he translates to other lines, but unfortunately with these new Azura Lane or whatever the hell that shit is, he might get pushed back even more. What I want to do is kill this Fubuki.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
Yeah. So looks like my Nuremberg is killing him, or the kid got him. Okay. We're going to switch to AP here. The Tier 6 Indy AP is not as good as the Baltimore's in terms of penetration and stuff like that. Is he going to miss that island? Yep. But I think it's still pretty good. Double check here. It's been a little while since I've shot these shells. Yeah, 6K. That's a pretty good shot. And up until this point, again, it doesn't look like we've done a whole lot. And maybe you're right, maybe not. But I'm not concerned with being too aggressive right now. There's a hip fire shot. I don't remember if I mentioned that on the video, but if you're aimed in and then you zoom out and shoot again, I think you always aim right where you're at. Like, I'll try that right here. So that was fired, aimed out, and that's gone pretty much where I was hoping it to go, so keep that in mind when you're... If you have to pull out or pull back, it's not the end of the world as long as you're aimed in previously. Yeah, this is pretty spicy AP. I don't know why this guy's not killing me. They're trying to fight in New Mexico. A lot of times for Battleship on Battleship, it's like a boss fight in Zelda or something, or if you can kill the minions, the support ships, and then work on the boss, i.e. the battleship, might have a little bit more success. Yeah, if you got all the stages unlocked till now, you'll have... I think there's like 2 or 3 stages of the campaign wiggle room that you can miss. There's not a lot of wiggle room, so if you like skipped a whole week, then you're gonna have to pony up doubloons to make up for that. Oh, Algeria. Algeria is another ship that doesn't want to get shot by this thing. Oh, they're on the base. Let's see if we can kill this guy and then deal with that.
Ship is on fire.
Or he might die. Alright. Whoop! Look out!
Destroyed an enemy cruiser.
About Hipper today. Yeah, we'll be playing Hipper, no doubt. I'll play all the Tier 7 cruisers at least once. I'm just trying to get my promotion orders. We do got 3 kills now, so I should have... This guy's going to be a major problem. Here's what we're doing. We're sighting the far edge of this. So that's 11 kilometers. Our radar's 10, I believe. So I'm just going to pull forward just a little bit more. Try and radar this guy, scare him off, hopefully. That's the Gaiety. We haven't seen that ship yet. He probably went all the way to the east. There he is, right there. We got the radar up, and this is the problem for the destroyers. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide for 30 seconds. Jesus. Yeah, the ship. But if the teammates aren't going to shoot this guy, then the radar isn't going to matter, which I think the radar is a lot stronger in divisions. And the Baltimore. And the Indy. Wow, I'm getting lucky on that. Alright, well, we should have our promotion orders at least. Use sonar, yeah, I probably should have there too. I was mainly just trying to sight him out, but you're right, he probably had torps coming towards me. I was varying my heading enough that I don't think he was going to be able to hit me, but you don't take your consumables with you to the next game, so... Yeah, and this comes down to, we called this a loss about 60 seconds into the game, maybe. And these guys are continuing to pursue the original strategy. Even though this guy's been threatening the base for minutes now, they're not turning around. I just playing this western side of the map. I don't know why people are fascinated with it, but it's a losing position. There's no strategic value over there. Alright. Is it 3 extra levels? Yeah, it's not a lot of wiggle room, but... Alright, so once that game finishes, we should have our guy promoted here. And in my mind, 15 is maxed for the near future. Because right here, up till 13, you're using strictly promotion orders. You get them. Insignia is far more rare, even though I got a lot saved up right now. I think I have 12, because I'm not currently using them. But here you got 1, then you have 2 more to go to 15. So that's 3 to get to 15. Then you have to spend 5 more to get 1 additional level. Now you'll notice for 16 you do get a boost to this, which is nice. And you get a very minor boost to this, 0.3%. Is that worth 5 insignias? Not in my mind, not at this time, until you have all the other commanders that you want to get up to that level, up to like 15. Yeah, the India and the Baltimore, I mean, I wouldn't say they can't, but it's... If there's a full health DD, in the time that you have to cycle through that radar, it's extremely unlikely you're going to kill them. So, you're essentially correct there. Which is why I think the radar cruisers are better for divisions, and I think they're better in domination mode, just because people are more likely to be playing in a given location around the objectives. Alright, so we got that taken care of. What should we... Well, people want the hipper. Let's jump into the hipper. Not a bad game. I mean, yeah, I didn't even see how much damage we did, but I think it was 60, 70k, somewhere in there. 3 kills. I'd be extremely surprised if we're not toward the top of that leaderboard. Given the way my team was playing, but you never know. But appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you don't mind taking one moment to hit that like button, that does help the stream and the channel. So, do I not use Jellicoe? No, I don't use them on anything. I would like to level them up at some point. I think his inspiration's pretty interesting. Okay, so we... Kagero and Fletcher are the 2 main ships I can deal with easily. The problem is... I got 3 Yamatos and a Bismarck that are going to have a massive hard-on for shooting me, so... Oh, by thunder! Oh, what a cock! Oh! Welcome to the game. You do have a radio. It works. Only put Madden to 16. Yeah, I do want to level up at least one of those commanders with the double heal, just so I can fully test that. Because right now I strongly suspect that the accuracy commanders are going to be better for all lines. But I can't give that definitive opinion until I actually try one out. So when I'll get around to doing that, I don't know. I have about 3 or 4 commanders that I think are important to level up for inspirations. So it might end up being a little bit of a longer-term project for that, but those battleship commanders with the heal in slot 4 are probably the strongest ones to level up. Now, you can always look at the perk, the slot 4 perk, and you know, like this one, for instance, on Von Mueller, it's got extra accuracy, which I think that's a pretty solid option. But is it worth 5 insignias over? You can do 5 other commanders to level 14, or you can do 1 other commander to level 15 and 2 to 14. I mean, there are big trade-offs. I'm going to try and go over here. These guys are going to get pushed by this destroyer who's capturing the base. Problem with doing this is we got our broadside here, but we do have to be kind of keeping an eye out for incoming shots. Von Mueller, we don't have the indicator on the spotted icon that says we're targeted. But that's okay, as long as we're careful. Yep, he is shooting us. What a fucker.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
Fuck you. Is that someone else behind him? Alright, so unfortunately I can't save these guys from torps very easily at the moment, because for me to get in front of them to screen the torps, I have to really put myself at risk of this guy. We know the destroyer is within the blue circle right now, so he is pretty close. But me doing what I need to do to find them and protect these guys, I can't currently do. Yeah, this is already looking like another loss. Oops, I had AP loaded. Shit. Always check what shell you got loaded. I think he's aiming at me. Yeah, most likely. That's a bit of an issue. Just gonna have to disengage and get out of here. If we survive this. Come on. Wow, we're dead. Hipper armor. Very strong. I don't know why this guy's moving into the destroyer, but there's been posts on Reddit and stuff about destroyer players having trouble against, or battleship players having trouble against destroyers. Number one defense against destroyers for battleships is to not move directly at them. My god. Turtleback is strong with this one. Alright, so this guy's trying to kill himself. I'm not inclined to save him. This guy, if he wants to stay alive, he needs to leave. This flank is collapsing. I can't do anything about it. I can't deal with the destroyer because this guy's got me pinned. That's the value of battleships, is holding down lines. This guy controls that entire line right there, like a rook in chess. So because he's there, I can't move into a position to defend these guys. If they can't recognize it, which I severely don't think that they're going to be able to recognize that, then they're going to die by that destroyer. Then they're going to get pissed at me or the game. And fundamentally, it's their own fault, but let's see what this fucking thing's doing here. This is a really bad spot to be in. Bismarck, we're going to assume just got flooded. His damage con cooldown's probably 10 seconds, I guess. No, we got a double fire on him. How the hell did that happen? So this guy's probably got a flood and a double fire, which means he's absolutely fucked. Oh, shit. Ah, man. Yeah, the dodgeability with these offensive commanders is so bad. Ooh, look at this fucking guy. Which way are you gonna turn? I'd go that way if I were you. Oh, we need to kill that Fletcher if possible. Holy shit. And I got AP. I've had the wrong shell the entire game. Every time I think I have AP, I have HE and vice versa. Alright, we got one on him. I think he's perma-flooded, so if we can get a fire, that should take care of him. This guy's, of course, getting torped like we predicted. That was easy to see coming a mile away. Yeah, there's no dodgeability in this thing. If you have a good Luchans on here, you can actually dodge shells. And I took off double steering gear, which is how I had it originally set up. That might be a mistake. I think I got concealment on there right now. Concealment's not the strength of these German cruisers. Man, if they can keep me alive and kill this battleship, then we should have no problem winning this. So, German cruisers... Jesus, I did not see him shoot. German cruisers are about the best cruisers in the game for dealing with destroyers due to their really good sonar. Alright, so we know this guy's not over here because we just dropped spot. Yamatos are overrated. I mean, they're good ships, but I would say they're probably not as strong as people think. Alright, I do have a destroyer in A right now. Again, trying to capture and torp this guy, so we're going to assume he's going that way. Here's where our concealment does come into play. We are out of range of that Yamato. So we could potentially shoot for free over here. Yeah, this guy's... Alright. Oh, here we go. Hello, Gobna. He's the one on A. But yeah, unfortunately, these guys are not killing the Yamato, which is the biggest. I can win the game against these two destroyers if I'm paying attention and not taking torps, which apparently is not the case. But conceivably, from my perspective, the battleship is the biggest threat. So if you're in a battleship right here and you got two destroyers left and you have one cruiser to protect you, in your mind, I would be thinking, how can I keep that cruiser alive? Because now I'm almost for sure going to die after that torp strike. It's going to be very hard to take on these guys. Let's get the sonar going. Yeah, so this just went from a winnable game to a very unlikely game to win. Fuck you. Let's see. There you are, bitch boy. And that's our sonar, just keeping him lit right now. There's nothing he can do for another minute and a half, as long as we keep him in that range. Busted his engine, he's gonna have a hard time disengaging now. Oops. Fortunately, we overshot our coverage there.
Torpedoes, dead ahead. Torpedoes, direct front.
Well, he shot at him, which is positive.
The enemy is about to win.
Yeah, again, Yamato back here. There's just... I can't safely push over here. Is this guy beached or not? No. If you saw what I was doing on that diagram there, you can see the angle I'm at right now. I was primarily trying to turn away from him. Half my guns went out of position where I couldn't actually hit the guy at that point. But with that situation, you got to focus on your preservation. By turning away from him like we did there, we're increasing the odds of him missing that shot. But that was actually a pretty good shot. Hipper is a beast. Yeah, it's... I didn't like the ship as much. I had like level 7 German commanders for a long time just because of under the old commander acquisition system. I had Deutsche Dewey for a long time, like all the way through the line. So I don't think they're that good until you get about a mid-level commander, which I would say 11 is usually what you should shoot for. I went for this guy because AP is so critical to the German cruiser. I mean, you can see I got Yamamoto here, who should be ready to get boosted. And then we do have this. But that turn, we're actually going to... I can't fix this ship right now. Hopefully I remember before I turn it again. I'm going to take that concealment off. And we might get rid of Mikawa. We'll have to see what the numbers look like. I hate to go no concealment, because these ships are extremely extremely visible. But that... You need double rudder shift on. I was not able to dodge anything. It's probably hard to tell when you're not playing and you're not feeling the shells, but... Alright, so we should have this thing ready to go here, which we do. Yeah, like so right now I could go to 16. I've got my hand far from the controller. So we've learned our lesson. No stylo today? I might be passed out right now. We'll see. Thoughts on the Nelson? I think it's hard. I think if you get good at the Nelson, it's a pretty good ship, but I don't know if I have the time to put into that. Anyway, 5 extra insignias. Well, I'll just demonstrate it. We'll go to 15 right now, which is the plan. And then I got my hand far from the controller. So for 5 insignias, I can get basically a +2 increase in accuracy, which is good. And I can get a 0.3 increase in AP pen, which you're not going to notice ever. You're going to notice a 0.9 increase, which I just put on by doing those 3 levels. But 0.3, it'll help you a little bit, but you'll never notice it. So it's not worth it, in my opinion. So I'd had 12 insignias, but I'm not in a rush to spend them, because eventually you're going to run out of stuff to spend promotion orders on, and then those insignias will be valuable. So I would hoard them. I would get as many of them as you can, but I would not spend them willy-nilly. Go to 16? No, that's horrible. Scott's great inspiration in Hipper. I don't say it's inaccurate. It might not be the most accurate. Let's see what I got him set up for. Oh, now the ship's in the port. Let me get this. Alright. I'm going to pull up my stat sheet here for a sec. Bear with me. Alright, so cruisers. Just want to make sure I had this written down, then we can compare it. So, Hipper, I got 7 and... No, 11.6, which is wrong. How did that... 11.2 and 7. How the hell did that change so much? Anyway, let's take that steering gears off and see how much of an effect it actually has. Oh, I should double check the steering too. So 8.6. 8.6 is pretty high for a rudder shift at tier 7. That number does make me nervous. No, I got 8.2. Why is my sheet all fucked up? I just updated this. Okay. So if we switch concealment mod out for steering gears, negative 40% decrease. That's huge. But we're adding 10% detectability, and we're losing that dispersion. Ah, god damn. Yeah, let's try it. I think there's a reason. And by the way, if you don't know, if you're trying to switch mods, it looks like the default option is to spend gold. Just go up 1, hit this, then go down 1, then you'll just spend credits, which, if you're like me, you don't need them. Alright, let's check the maneuverability now. 5.1 compared to 8.6. That's massive. Now 12.5 compared to 11.2. That's massive too. That's a full 1.5 kilometers over any other cruiser on my fleet at tier 7, which is disconcerting. So I don't think I would ever take Mikawa off. I don't know. Let's try one more game with that and see. I think there's a reason I'd switch that to concealment, but that rudder shift was brutal, that game. Think Vine's kind of good for Hipper? Yeah, he's unfortunately, he's the next guy on my list that I want to boost up, because I've been getting a lot of feedback on him. And people are saying he's pretty good for cruisers and destroyers. But I think with these goofball commanders that we're going to have out with the next update, some of them might be worth putting some points into. So I'm going to hold next week's points, and then we're going to see what happens from there. 40% rudder is incredible. I mean, I guess that's just part of the nature of this line. They got really bad detectability. But that rudder shift straight up was not... Like, if I was in a Megami, a Tago, a Martel, some of those shots that were coming in on me there, we would have dodged. And you just don't have that in this. And I remember when I was grinding this line, I think I initially had the concealment and steering gears in slot 2, and then I switched it back to this setup because it was so unforgiving. But maybe if you had a high-level Luchins, who's got about a 10% steering gears reduction when you get them up to like a level 11, level 12, then that would mitigate some of the problems. That's not a lot of wiggle room between that blue circle and the white circle, which is, you know, I rely on the concealment game quite a bit in cruisers, and I would recommend anyone that plays cruisers do so.
All stations reporting the position of a strategic target.
Does it still have to be bad games to upload them? Well, yeah, for that, the replay analysis, it doesn't have to be a bad game. I just don't want... What people do when I put that section up on Discord, it is up there right now, by the way, if you're on there, but people give me 8-kill Kraken or, you know, 500k damage games, and they're like, what should I improve? And what they want to do is either promote their own channel or just make them, you know, themselves feel good. For my purposes, I'm trying to get games that I can go through for 10-15 minutes and say, okay, here's something we can improve, here's something we can improve, so on and so forth. I mean, that's the purpose of that series in my mind. But it doesn't have to be a bad game. I'm not looking for your best game ever. I'm basically looking for like an average game for you, you know? That's for your skill level. You're the one who's looking for feedback. So if you can say to yourself, this is generally how I play, how can I improve it? Then that's what I'm trying to do. If you're like, this is my best game ever, or if you're like, my average game is 300k damage, how can I improve? You're better than me at that point, so I can't help you. What do you want me to tell you? Makeup concealment with Swirsky? Possibly, but on this build, the whole point of using Von Mueller is to enhance the AP. And once you take Yamamoto off the inspiration and go Mikawa, Swirsky, then you're really... The whole concept of the ship builds, the commander builds, is like, do I want to highlight strengths or mitigate weaknesses? And if you're just swapping weaknesses that you're mitigating, you're not really highlighting any strengths at that point, then the build becomes less effective, usually. At least in my way of thinking. But there's obviously different philosophies or approaches to the whole commander build system. But for me, the goal for the German cruisers, I want to highlight the AP, because every time I have a broadside target that's a cruiser or a battleship, I want to shoot AP into it. That's how I'm going to get the most damage out of this ship. So, how do I accomplish that goal? I put Yamamoto as one of the inspirations. Then I have Von Mueller and have his tier or slot 3 perk AP damage, you know. It's like you enjoy your new rudder. Yeah. Still, yeah, this feels way better. I mean, you're not quite... I mean, if you run like a double Rudder Shift Megami, for instance, that's like playing a destroyer. But this feels a lot better. You can dodge shots at range with this. Yeah, I mean, it's probably very hard to tell when you're just watching someone play, but... Alright, so what's happening? They're kicking our ass over there. Actually... Yeah, they could conceivably hold that side. Their entire team's stacking up over there, though. But now, looking on the map, we do have approaching broadsides. At least this, I think it's this guy right here, the Jean Bart. He's going to attempt a middle push, which if he does that, we're just going to sit on his base and cap, crossfire these guys. And hope this Bismarck goes back to defend. And I guess maybe I should be recognizing that he's going to push into the base and take responsibility to defend, but I don't really feel like doing that right now. I mean, if you see someone going into the channel on this map, you got to understand that they're pushing into the base. And then your thought process should be, what am I giving up? Actually, we don't have any broadsides now, so we're going to...
All stations requesting fire on the designated target.
I don't want to be too aggressive and get smoked here, but... Yeah, this...
All stations concentrate fire on the target.
I mean, the Yamato should be able to kill the Jean Bart. Now, when you get into this game and you're saying should a lot, that's when you're going to have problems, because your teammates in general are not going to do what you want them to do. We're going to try an AP salvo in there. We're going to try waterline. I want to see... Jean Bart's weak on the sides. It's still an angled target, which these shells could have some problems with, but... Yeah, I got a 10k salvo there, so that one did alright. And they're already on the base, so... I mean, this Bismarck, he's not a brand new player. Am I comfortable relying on him? No, but... Oh, look at this fuck. We actually are able to fire undetected for the moment. Yeah, these AP shells should kill him there. Okay. And now I might be able to get into a spot where I can reset this guy. Man, they're pushing the base hard, so they don't have anyone to defend us. Once you recognize that destroyer's north, then this guy right here is the only one that can conceivably reset us. And if me and this dude both get right up into here, which I'm actually going to be a little bit of a dick and try and ram him into doing that. All we gotta do is not let this guy shoot us. I guess is the point. And we win. This guy does not recognize that, unfortunately, though. He's going for damage, and that's going to allow him to reset us, and then we can very easily lose this game because of this. So this guy, he wants his little damage, and he's risking the game to do it. Great shot. Great shot. Alright, we're going to have to help him out. We just lost a minute worth of capture points because this guy needed his damage. And we're 2 seconds away from winning the game. That sucks. And we got 2 bounces. So that gave these guys all sorts of time to do whatever they want. I mean, it's pretty sad, but I think he actually did just lose the game there. And now we do have a majority of our capture points in this ship because we haven't been reset for a while. But he's still gonna... They can still reset a good chunk of them by shooting that guy. This is pretty risky. Get off the fucking radio, man. Nobody's there to help you. Jesus. That's too bad. Both your guns were knocked out in 5 minutes. Yeah. It'll happen. And the more and more people figure out that you can knock those guns out, the more and more it's going to happen. Alright. I mean, the only way we can win is not getting reset here. If this guy's smart, he'll shoot me. I'm going to try and pull forward. The sad thing is the secondaries can prop. I'm sorry, I get so distracted by the fucking chimps on the radio. Woo! Nice shot. Alright, so that was actually a pretty good game. I mean, that should have been a lot easier win than it was. But it's just this guy not recognizing that. Getting right here, we would have been blocked from taking any damage. Keep nerfing the secondaries. I don't think they've changed the secondaries. I think they'll probably buff them at some point. I think that's fair. If they increase the effectiveness, the accuracy, and then potentially the fire rate or something. I don't know. They can make them better and keep it balanced. I think they're massively underpowered right now. I don't think secondaries are worth much. Yeah, they can do some good here and there, but compared to the main guns, they're not effective right now. So, Sean Barnes for people who can't play. I mean, maybe, but if you can play and you run that ship, you can definitely kick some ass. Don't the ships from this version have the same hull? Yeah, in general. I think the translation from PC to this is pretty accurate. Once in a while, they'll change a little bit here and there. And then, once they're in this environment, like they've buffed and nerfed some ships here that over time, they'll lose correspondence with the PC version. Like the next step for these cruisers that obviously really suck because we're getting our asses kicked today. I shouldn't talk too much shit. We're actually losing more games than we won, but I mean, here we did all right. Indy's not a tier 7. Hipper, yeah, we didn't have a very good game there. Apparently the ships do suck. They're not a massive scoring game, but we did lead the team. We'll have a couple barn burners this stream, though. I mean, it's kind of a joke to me that they need to be buffed. But the next step that I was getting at is they're going to increase the armor, allow it to buff or bounce shells more. This is my prediction, obviously. I don't have any clue. But once that happens, they're going to be a lot more durable for your average player. And good cruiser players will just kick the shit out of you with them. Long range. Yeah. I mean, the theory of the turtleback is at close to mid-range, you shouldn't be able to citadel it, and then at long range, you should. I don't see any difference, really. I don't think the turtleback works very well. I think all I have to do is reapply the buff to the turrets to that ship, and then it should be a good ship. And then if you want to spice up the secondaries a little bit, be my guest. It's not going to ruin my day or make my day if you do that. Balances with citadel placement. Yeah. Ped numbers, yeah, they don't publish those. But yeah, they could definitely spruce up the secondaries, and I don't want to make them so you can have a Bismarck just killing ships in 30 seconds worth of secondary fire from 12 kilometers. I don't think that would be a balanced ship, but use Yamamoto on Megami. We could try it. It's going to be Yamato City today, isn't it? One more week. Yeah, we got 1 cruiser and 30 battleships, so from a survivability cruiser standpoint, this should be about the least survivable game as we could possibly get. We'll see if we can stay alive for more than 10 seconds or not. Definitely go either way. Middle spawn shards were in striking distance of this spawn right here, right off the bat. So we're going to launch that plane. Immediately start getting away from here. You don't want to be sitting around. Broadside, I could get killed right now if I get spotted. We're basically going to try and turn this way. So I'm going to swing my guns over there. I want to be angled away from these guys, able to disengage in this direction over here. Or this direction over here. I can have options. Let's see if this guy's moving up or not. Have I played the York post buff? Maybe like 1 or 2 games. Should probably get around to doing that a little bit more. I don't know, I just don't. I never got a tingle up my leg from the York, but it's probably a little bit better now. And so firing there, I know going into it I'm going to get spotted, so that's a calculated risk I take. But if you are firing in a cruiser, you need to know ahead of time, am I going to get spotted for doing this or not? And if you are, then you need to be able to respond accordingly. And we did it because we're about to get disengaged from that island. Now we are getting plane spotted, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. Megami's a pretty dodgeable ship. What's this fucking guy doing? It's kind of a weird game with no destroyers, but Tier 7 right now, you get some weird setups. Get a reset on him. Yeah, you can keep an eye on the damage. When you get 6 shells that hit like that into the superstructure, that's, I don't see what it was, but it was probably about 5 to 6, 7k damage. So this guy could kill me. Looks like he's aiming at me as well. Now once I get Lemon up a couple more levels, I might try him out on this one. I can't bounce Yamato shells, so I'm mostly trying to dodge there, and there we did. But you can see, if you can see the shells coming in like that, you can have a lot more success dodging them. And then, by the time he's loaded, I think I can get this island between us. I should have stopped a little bit earlier. Alright. And if you're dodging salvos from these guys, especially low-level Yamato players that are new to the game, they'll often switch their focus to someone else. This guy's coming around, so we're gonna finish him off, potentially. And keep shooting here. If those torps don't get this guy, I'm gonna die, because he can absolutely kill me close range, no problem whatsoever. And these guys are not in a position to help me. But it's my only choice. I'm just trying to keep this island between me and him, and hope he's dead in 20 seconds here. There's one. Tahoo! Shit. That's a problem. Yeah, we're gonna go AP and try and... Nice, thank you. Alright, it's like I just saved our life, which is nice. We're up to 94 already, which, you know, we're chasing 3 times our HP now. This is... We're into carry mode at this point. These cruiser, or the destroyers over there are having a hard time because of us. Well, we're not out of the woods yet, obviously. We're going to try and get this ridge right here in between them. I don't think anyone else can spot us. Again, we have no destroyers, so... There shouldn't be any ships that are undetected that are looking at us. And... Voila. You know, we're in a good position. We just need to back up 25 feet. The Iowa's, of course, going to back up because he's in Iowa, but... We should be able to hit him with our back guns for that salvo, and then all the guns from here on out. So you want to, when you're playing cruises, you want to identify islands that have steep drop-offs like that. That's what you're generally looking for. That's kind of the designer's way of hinting to you that this is a potential position for cruisers. A battleship might get spotted shooting here because they're taller ships. But here we can fire undetected, which is a free shot. So here's a good spot where Yamamoto would help. We could get 10% more range. We could be firing on that guy. We'll try him out. Now that he's level 15, I can get him a better look. But turret traverse, way slower with Yamamoto than Mikawa. Major problem for ships that are open water, kind of dodgy types. Yeah, the armor viewer, that would actually wouldn't surprise me if that shows up next update. I don't think it's gonna, but it would be nice. But you're right, it's very hard to evaluate stuff without it. We're relying on the PC, which has proven to be generally accurate, but we don't know anything until we get our own armor views, so that is a good point. C's been cleared. If I'm trying to strictly win the game, probably going to C and capturing might be the right play. But our team's on the verge of melting here. So I'm evaluating these guys' health. Then we're going to decide who to shoot at from there. We want to get these targets dead, especially these Yamatos, that they're both low health. As long as this guy right here is alive, which I don't know how much longer that's going to be, but... Oh, nice shot. All right. So that went a long way. We can actually kill this guy now. Hit a shot, guys. Oh my god. Just love watching your teammates' shells go on and miss. There he gets them. Help me, help you. Alright, Jean Bart backing up. So we're going to attempt to use this little cone right here. A, we want to get this captured in case we need to run. If they kill our other 2 ships, we're going to have to capture B and capture C to win the game, for sure. So we're going to position ourselves to do that. They're doing a good job of killing these ships now, so it's becoming less and less likely that we're going to have to rely on me. He's going forward on the score. And he's actually going to be coming towards me. He's disengaging from them, so he's going to be coming this line right here. So we're going to hold those torps until he completes his turn, see what line he's attempting to hold, and then we'll launch the torps in that instance. If he's going to come straight at me, obviously we don't need the torps. Damage conned. Alright, so we got A and B now, so it's up to me. I can... Alright, he just died. We're just going to disengage here. We got good enough damage. So once I turn, if I can hold it, I want to launch one on the indicator and one more toward that island. You can see we can actually stealth torp with this setup just a little bit, but he will probably spot me. Oh, nice. Dude got fucked up. I want to keep him outside my blue detection range. Then if I decide to shoot at him, then it's my own decision. But once he gets into that blue detection range, he controls whether I'm spotted or not. Just gonna keep this guy spotted for this dude. I don't know if he has a line of sight on him or not, but we're just gonna play destroyer role right now and keep this guy lit. Yamato can obviously keep the shit out of this ship. I guess now that he's this low, we got full health. We haven't taken a shot yet because we've been playing like a pussy. Then Chambard can one-shot me, but not if I play properly. Yeah, under the second gun, definitely where you want to be shooting those. So that's, I mean, if you're going to go on Reddit and say Tier 7 cruisers are unplayable, we didn't even get the top score. That's what, this is a good team right here. If you're in a Tier 7 game and you got 4 guys with over 2K, and these guys held their weight, there's no, like, dead weight on this team. That's a really good team right there. So, I mean, 25K on a Tier 7, that's pretty decent. But yeah, I mean, that's how you do it right there. We didn't even have to play open water dodgy, really. We were just controlling the line of vision, or the line of sight. Probably Max. Silly X, yeah. Yeah, I just... The more and more I play those brawler build type commanders, they just struggle to do damage at range, which you're going to be at early on. Yeah, that was a better one. Let's try the Martel here. This one, if you get a game where you can go the distance, it's the most dangerous of the bunch. Let's see. Now I gotta hold on to my promotion orders. I keep flipping back and forth between Lemon and Rue. When am I going to play in divisions? I don't know. I mean, playing on divisions on stream for me is tough because I have to alter my entire stream setup due to the audio. Trying to capture the people I'm playing with audio. I basically have to completely change how I have the stream set up. So I don't like to do that from that perspective. Once in a while I'll do it. We haven't played with Tactic for a while. Maybe we could play with him one of these days, but... in terms of playing at night or whatever with divisions, I really just very rarely have time to do it. If I work a full 8, 9, 10 hour day and then come home, I basically can't use any footage from divisions for videos, and I only have a limited amount of time to play games to get footage for videos, so it's very hard for me to do it. If you're looking for people to play divisions with, join the Discord. There's a lot of good players on there that have a lot more time for divisions than I do. Baltimore we'll get to. Alright, so we got 2 destroyers here. We got a Toggle Martel. That's something that's been present since day one that I cannot believe they haven't changed. Or if you check the map or if you issue a command, it'll reset your rudder to neutral. This guy's backing up, of course. Oops. How the fuck did that miss? Whew. Yeah, if you got incoming fire from battleships, just try and go as narrowly towards them as possible. You want to be slightly angled to get your ship's armor involved. If I can stop on time here, we can use this spot for cover. Again, this is another cutout. We're looking for features of the land like that, where you have a tall peak and then a dip. Doesn't mean those are the only ones you can find to shoot over. You can, anything that's low enough, obviously, you can shoot over, but it's usually the developer giving you a hint that this is a good piece of land to try and utilize. And so I can start and stop a lot quicker than this guy can. I can keep this thing between me and him. Now we do have a plane spotting this, which is a problem. But it's a lot easier for me to stay undetected and keep this guy in a position where I can keep firing on him than it is for him to back up and go forward. He can't do the same thing that I'm doing to him, basically, is the point. He can't do it to me as effectively. Change focus to this Martel. The Martel is way more dangerous than the Richelieu. That was a bit of a mistake shooting at that ship for that long. He's angled, so I'm not going to be able to AP pen him probably, but... Oops. There's a shot. Fuck. Let's get that plane going. So I can't... I'm looking on the map for that plane. I don't see it. That it's probably one of these 3 ships has one cycling. So I'm going to very briefly be spotted by it. Like I have been. Put the dip in, yeah. Back on the chew, unfortunately. I had a bit of a relapse. Until that Martel pops back up, we're just going to resume firing on this guy. I mean, this ship is obviously very good at burning battleships to a crisp. But the Martel... Usually Martel players are good more often than not, because I don't think it's the most beginner-friendly line in general. And then if you get a good player in the Martel, they can potentially wreck your team very quickly, so... If I have the chance to get rid of him, I'd like to do that. We are getting spotted now by a destroyer, probably on sea. Probably right in this zone here. So, nope. We just dropped spot. The guy could have been on sea. You gotta look at your white line and then figure out where they could be on the map. Alright. Looks like a loss, but we can at least do our job here. I'm broadside enough to him that he's looking at me like he wants to shoot AP, which is a bit of an issue. Martels plus AP in the sides equals a bad time. Yeah, we're getting perma-spotted now. I can probably bet that the guy's right over here. Which, the longer I'm here, I can't hold this anymore, because all 3 of these ships can shoot at me, and then we're kind of broadside to them, so... We're gonna have to think about something else.
Engine boost activated.
Might try a little open water dodging, but... Lemon's not the best at that. Yeah, every time we get shot, we can tell basically where the guy is. Alright, so it's kind of a bad game because we're not really affecting it that much. We're doing a lot of damage, but we're not getting the ships eliminated. You kind of need to work with your... You got to figure out what your team is shooting at and then try and support them. Killing these ships on C, I think, is strategically the least important. I think opening up the middle with killing those on B would be better. But if that's what they're doing, that's what they're doing. God, these guys healed all the damage we did. Yeah, we're gonna... Kind of pre-aimed on that guy, because once he was on fire, I knew he was going to get lit again. Alright. I hit this fucking island every time. I did this the other day. Get rid of that. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. About to die, but such is life. Cruisers, if you get caught with 4 ships that can shoot you and you hit the island, that should be the end of you. If they can't capitalize on that, I don't know how to help them. But that speed boost is about to run out. That's a good source of dodgeability when you're open water dodging. I want to reset that Iowa. Got him there. Yeah, I don't know. That game, I mean, we're going to do a decent amount of damage before we die, probably, but I don't think we did anything to help win that game, unfortunately. Oh. Well, our team's fucked then, because I can't kill 5 battleships and 2 destroyers and a cruiser. Yeah. Like, if you're trying to run and dodge, you can do it if you got shots coming from one angle, but AP on the side there, AP from back there, AP from back there. Just not going to end well. Alright, we're going to have to switch sides again. I think we might be able to disengage that Otago or whatever that cruiser is right about there. We'll be right on the edge of our detection, but I think we can actually get out of it. Well, fuck, this thing is so close. Nah, we can't disengage. Second Eisenhower's got us. What a beatdown. God. Oh, sometimes you're the bitch. Ram someone. There's no way I could get towards those ships without dying. That's the Martel. You can't take shots, so you can't get close to anyone. So last game we saw like 3 guys with over 2,000. If we won that game, our bonuses, these would be high teens, which aren't monster scores. But these guys down here, no offense if anyone's watching if you're in this group, but this is a bad. You don't want 2/3 of your team doing less than 1,000 HP or XP. It's cruisers are good in divisions. If you can get a destroyer spotting for you, I think that's ideal. Then, especially if you have like a USN cruiser that could potentially smoke you, and you can fire undetected. That's where the British cruisers, when we get them in a week, that'll be where they shine. Because the tier 6 and 7, I believe, will both have smokes. We could try the Baltimore. I don't think this is the best ship to play as a solo player. One of those BB's a horrible shot. Let's check the build. Well, with Lemon, I shouldn't have any dispersion, I don't think. But one of them was like a Gneisenau, which they're not going to have a good time hitting shit. Yeah, there's no increase on dispersion on Lemon. I don't know. I think a good strong like level 15 Vian would be a good option. Maybe right here. I don't know. I think concealment works pretty good, but for Lemon, you're kind of giving up that, so you could potentially put Vian there. We'll try the next one with Rue. See how that goes. Alright. So, I mean, from our perspective, that shards. I say we did our job that game. Unfortunately, we didn't get the support we needed to turn that one. Yeah, Martel and Smoke for 2 minutes. That's what you got to remember. Those USN destroyers have 2 minute smoke roughly, so that's a long time to be able to fire undetected. Alright, so, oh my god. 2 3-man divisions, one of them Yamato's. Should be interesting. For Baltimore, we're going to try and use this island right here to our right. I'm going to back up. Don't have a plane to assist with the spotting, but if that destroyer happens to come in here and we can catch them early, that should be a huge advantage. They got a Lightning, which is a strong ship. We got a Z-23. We got a radar cruiser. They don't. So on paper, we got a pretty decent setup, but I don't... It's been a while since I played the Baltimore. Is this guy gonna ram me? Probably. Oh, no, they're backing up. Back that thing up. Right now, I'm just keeping an eye on the map. I'm trying to find out where that destroyer is. He's probably gonna jump on the cap, most likely, so he should reveal which side he's on fairly quickly. I don't need to be in a rush, though, to engage anyone. Let's see what we can cover. I can cover the entirety of the cap, it looks like, with my radar. Unfortunately, these guys playing where they are, they can't support that, so even if I do radar him, it's not going to be much use. Now we found him on A, so the destroyer's down there. That changes things a little bit. Let's see if we can help these guys over here for a second. British cruiser with smoke and a Martel division. I mean, divisions in general, if you're playing with above average players, you're going to increase your odds. Like, if you only play in divisions with good players, I'd say your win rate should be between 5 and 10 points higher than if you just play solo. It is a pretty big advantage. There we got spotted. I'm guessing it's probably the destroyer right about there. We need to keep an eye on that. These guys can all wreck me pretty hard. Gonna switch to that AP. Baltimore has good USN cruiser AP to begin with, and then it's kind of considered super AP. Extremely good penetration on this thing, so you can citadel any battleship basically at range at waterline. There's an 8K salvo. Just trying to not get killed here. There's a 1K. Oh, that guy got fucked. And here we do have the indicator saying that we're targeted probably by the guy I'm aiming at right now. Looks like he's aimed at me. Bit of an issue. But it is good good intel to know. I cannot bounce that guy at any angle. So we're just gonna have to hope we dodge by backing up here. Looks like he did fire under the assumption we continue moving forward. Yeah, he got us with one, but that's alright. We'll trade 5k damage, half of it that we can heal for, you know, the 20 or 30k we just put out on these two ships over there. 57% solo, yeah, that's really good. I mean, anything above 50, that's your goal. That means you're an above average player. Looks like that Z-23 can kill this guy if he tries to stop torping him and use your guns, Chief. Look at that. My God, why do people try and torp destroyers like that? Way better guns on that. Yeah, we're gonna have to kill this fucking thing. He died. What an idiot. Yeah, he stopped too. This guy's gonna get... Oh, alright. That should be the game. Once you have... Well, they killed our destroyer, we killed theirs. That's a good trade. Whoops. I don't care about being next to this guy in terms of being a dick. That doesn't bother me, but why I don't want to be next to him is the guy's probably going to get shot at by this dude over here. And due to the dispersion, I'm going to take some of those shells, so I don't want to get shot. And by being that close to him, I'm greatly increasing the odds of me being shot, so... This guy might be able to hit me. He's actually aiming at me. What a little shit stain. I might be aiming at that guy. But you do have good floaty arcs on these. I mean, it's good and bad. Good, you can get over these islands easier. But bad, it's harder to aim because of how floaty they are, how long it takes to get to the target. Here's an AK, we'll take that. Oh yeah. So yeah, Japanese cruiser could not hit that shot, it would hit the island. Yeah, we've done double our HP, that's not too bad. Probably gonna miss that one, but worth taking. You're going for 80%. I mean, the highest I've ever seen is 70. My buddy Dragos, when the game came out early on, he was that high. Maybe it was 71, I can't even remember, but he was playing a lot of divisions. I mean, my win rate, for instance, is 62%. I play 99.9% of my games solo. I think I'm a semi-decent player, so you can use that as a guide if you want. How long am I going to play? We'll probably play another couple hours, maybe. Hour and a half. Let's see here. Now, if I was playing really carefully, I could use this island right here to control that vision, but this guy's got other things to deal with besides me. 5 shatters. Interesting. Wow, what a beatdown. Suggested it in the super test. Which one are you talking about here? Oh, stats per ship. Yeah, that'll be coming. That's... Ah, 86k. I mean, not a barn burner of a game, but again, we did our job there. I'd say. We kind of pinned down B. Not a bad game. Again, I'd say out of these 5, I'd rank the Baltimore probably the least effective. If you get 80%, you're cheating. I mean, if you're 80% win rate as a solo player, you're probably the best player in the world. Let's just put it that way. Let's try a Martel with Rue on there. I go back and forth. I'm still testing these out. I can't decide who I like better on these tier 6 and 7. Good morning, Gabrielson. I'm doing pretty good. Werman's in the house. What's happening? Amazing turnout again today, guys. That's awesome. Good to see everyone hanging out. If you do have the chance to hit that like button, I'd appreciate that. It goes a long way. Okay. I'm kind of surprised that Bart blocked 5 shots, but that's, again, getting back to that AP pen, that's what you're trying to affect by increasing your AP pen, is you're trying to reduce those block shots at range into pens. But a John Bart in the side is not very strongly armored. That's Yamato City today. Guess that shouldn't surprise me. I probably got a fuck ton of tokens saved up. We could maybe play a Yamato game.
Action stations.
Alright, first shards again. This is 4 times in a row. First time we're on the wing though, so this one's a little bit more challenging. I'm usually going to try and post up right about in this zone, kind of to my right. But then when you do that, you do have to keep an eye on B and C. So you're in a crossfire position. For the Martel, crossfire position is very dangerous, obviously, because we do not want to get shot in the side in this. That's kind of the main focus. Have I decided on a build for the British? Yeah, I got one that I'm ready to go to war with. I can show you that here after this game if you remind me. Shit. Switch to AP. I don't think we're going to have time to shoot it, though, unfortunately. Let's pull forward and see if we can catch this guy. These guys are both broadside, so it's worth positioning to get shots on them. There's a Fletcher. They got 2 DDs. We got 1. Hopefully we don't have the same Z23 at last game. Alright. Albert coming in hot. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. We didn't have any new members to the channel this week, but if you guys are interested in becoming a member to support the channel, those are the guys that have the commander icons next to the name in the chat. There's the join button next to the subscribe button. That's how you do that. It's like a $2 or $5 option per month. A lot of people are always asking me how they can help the channel. Yeah, Fraser, basically to keep it short, we'll take a look at it here in a sec, but I do plan on going to war with Fraser. I'm nervous because the British cruisers are going to make the Martel look like the tankiest battleship known to man in comparison. Alright, so right now we're looking on the map. We got everything out of our blue circle, so I'm trying to respot these ships and then potentially be able to continue to hit them. But we're going to angle away before they spot us. Yeah, the legendary, you can switch between reload, boost, and the consumables increase. I'm probably going to go consumables, personally. Now if I fire, these guys can see me. You know, you can see I'm still got them outside the blue. But I should... I was going to say, I should probably just switch to HE at this range. Now we got 2 ships targeting us. Anyway, getting back to those British commanders. I think Tenet, for most players, I'm going to guess you'd do better with Tenet than Frazier. I'm probably going to level them both up. But that one I spent a lot of time thinking about, back and forth, going back and forth in my mind. Who did I want to use? And Frazier I ended up going with just in case we get one of those premium cruisers that have HE shells. He'll have the option to boost that. Stream is bugging. Ah, shit. Yeah, give me 1 sec. I got these fucking technicals, man. Let's see if that helped it or not. That should help the stream. Hopefully you guys all stuck around. Stream's going to German, actually. I apologize. Squirrels actually did eat my internet. So that's not inconceivable. Yeah, this happened a couple streams ago. I'm trying to see if I reset it. It looks a little bit better now. You guys can tell me if it is or not. As far as I can tell, it looks like it's fixed. Sorry about that. If there's technicals on the stream, if you guys point them out like you did, I'll try and fix them on the fly as quick as I can. So you can just usually stick around in the stream. It's better now? Okay. Much better. Alright. Yeah, so if that ever happens, if the sound cuts out, I think I've figured out how to fix these. It's just going to take a second. So if you stick around like you did, I appreciate that. I can usually fix these on the fly.
Concentrate fire on the enemy
Alright.
warship.
Now I gotta focus back on the game here. Got Stylo in the house? Nice. So sorry about that. I'm not a technical whiz by any means. And I didn't touch anything on my computer, so I don't know why it does that sometimes, but I guess it's just the reality of life sometimes. He's trying to suicide that Yamato, which I wish I could have hit him that second salvo. He actually probably... Damn, he took a lot of health off that guy. I don't normally advocate a suicide torp rush like that, but he did just wipe out about 20% of our team's HP with that move, which might be a little early for that play. I don't know if I think that was the best move for him, but if we can kill that other destroyer, that could cause problems for them. Yeah, the audio is fine. As long as you guys point that stuff out, it might take me a second to look. I'm trying to focus on the screen and the stream at the same time, but if you point it out, I'll notice it as quick as I can, and then we'll just get it fixed. So I appreciate everyone sticking around. Sorry about the technicals. I just don't know how to fix them. Or I know how to fix them on the fly, I just don't know how to prevent them. Yeah, this guy's gonna turn in and try and kill me. Ah, shit. I thought I could get this turn off before he shot, but apparently not, so we might die here. Well, he shot HE, alright. Thank you. Lucked out there. That could have very easily been a one-shot kill.
Problem solved, sir. Engine boost activated.
Now that I'm looking at the consumables, maybe that's why they didn't put the heal on this, because this already has 4 consumables, and they would have had to give up one. I mean, the Martel is really powerful. I'd buy their argument that it's strong enough that it doesn't need the heal.
Concentrate fire on the enemy.
There's a dodge. We dodged that because we watched those shells the entire way. We're keeping an eye on this guy, which is causing us to run into islands. Well, that's not the cause. Me not paying attention is the cause of running into islands, but primarily I want to keep my eye on this guy and see if he shoots, because this ship is nimble enough that I should be able to dodge, especially with Rue. Again, I got about a 10% extra boost to steering gears. Running this over Lemon. Ooh, that's a doozy. This fucking guy's just sitting still, okay. But at this range, I can disengage whenever I want to. That's kind of... I'm trying to just get away from this guy right now. We'll disengage, we'll reposition. We're down a ship. If I die, we're going to have a problem winning. That's a good shot. Yeah.
Concentrate fire on the target.
So unlike a lot of Yamatos, bit of a tongue twister, this guy can actually aim, so that's a bit of a problem.
All stations reporting the position of a strategic target.
Not one tier 7 cruiser needed heals. I mean, I didn't think they needed a buff either in terms of what they're capable of, but it's kind of a debate. Do you want to balance the game based on what the ships are capable of or what the players are capable of? And I guess for the game's purposes, making it as much fun for as many players as possible, making them stronger until your average Joe can have a decent game at a cruiser. Again, I don't know if that's necessarily the way to do it, but that's what they're going to do. That's the approach they're taking, so that's why I think there's going to be more buffs to cruisers. This guy's trying to aim at me, so we're trying to get behind the island here. You can see we're selected, but he's turning his ship and his guns, trying to get a shot off of me. And there, if you saw that white triangle icon, you can see that pops up in the middle of the screen. That means I'm aiming at the island, but our back guns were clear. It's... shit. Get that shot off before we die. That was lucky.
Fighter airborne. Engine boost deactivated.
In your mind, when he begins to turn like that, he could potentially fully reverse, which is what I would do. But he's definitely not going to be at the max firing range. Fuck. For those torps. If you saw, the aim indicator was right about here, and I launched the torps right about there with the idea that he's going to... Oh, he dodged him. But that's kind of the idea. You got to predict what they're going to do. Did my team start with the Yamato? Yeah, I think it was 3v3 in terms of those. Most tier 7 games for the next week will probably have 3 Yamatos in them, which is just... You can debate whether that's a good thing or not, but that's the reality we're dealing with. Baltimore and Heel is strong and tanky. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, Mustang, I'd mostly agree with you. You can angle against like a Sharn horse, for instance. Not in the Martel, but in like a Baltimore, you could probably bounce a Sharn horse. You could probably... I don't know. Anytime you're angled, you're reducing the damage. You're reducing the likelihood of the Citadel, at least. Yeah, what do you guys want to see? We don't have to just play 2-7 cruisers, too. We can switch it up, but... I did want to demonstrate the ships, at least, just so we can see them in action. Let's try another Megami. Double steering gear for Martel or 1 prop mod. I would recommend double steering until you get pretty good at dodging shots. I got concealment on slot 3, steering gear on slot 2. If you run double steering gear, your rudder shift is like 3 seconds or 3.2 or something like that, that's destroyer levels. So I'd say for most players, if you're having trouble surviving with the high tier cruisers, start with the double steering gears and see if that helps you. And try and get those defensive commanders. We forgot to look at the builds, but we can look at the builds here if I ever remember to do it. Because I think the breakdown is 30% reduction in steering time for slot 2 steering gear, 40% for slot 3, and then you can get roughly 10% with the defensive commander. So that's 80% reduction. That's almost cutting it in half. Yamamoto, yeah. Another Kohlberg? What the hell's a Kohlberg? Oh, the tier 2. Alright. So we got a Baltimore we need to kill and 2 destroyers. Alright, this spawn over here, I don't know what the lines are. They probably spawned right about there would be my guess. I'm still learning this map. Yeah, they're there. Again, we're using our concealment. I'm just going to get pre-positioned to be in a spot where I can turn away from them. When I'm getting shot by a battleship, I want to be sailing away from them, ideally. Let's say I get spotted right now and I'm locked towards this where I can't turn away without risking everything. That's what... Why is there a tier 5 in this game? Okay. Queen and a King Jouge. These two guys are in a division. Yep. Let the punishment begin. Oh, there's our buddy Benson. 20% on the second slot. I mean, that you might be right. Whatever it is, it's a big reduction, though. And that's why people keep saying with the offensive commanders, they want to put in slot 4 the steering gears mod. But if you look at what it's actually doing, it's like a 4 or 5% reduction, which is very, very minimal compared to the actual mods. And then the capabilities of like a Mikawa's steering gear. I'll try and remember after this game to look at the builds. We can talk about them. Alright, so right now we got these 2 battleships blocked. I can be a little aggressive on this Benson for 1 salvo, maybe 2. Fortunately got away.
Fighter airborne.
What do I want to do? So my options are turn this way away from these guys or turn to the left away from them. But because this island right here is blocking that left turn, I don't think that's going to work as well. I'm going to put a torp right there just in case that Benson hugs that island coming around. I could probably fire undetected here because the smoke. Well, planes got me. I should have saw that plane right there. That's alright. Now we're clear of this island to the left. We're going to switch the sides of the guns, lock them. I still think that torp hugging that island might hit that Benson, because he's probably going to turn hard trying to torp this fucking John Bart right here. So we'll see if that actually pays off or not. Queen Elizabeth shooting HE, that's good. Queen Elizabeth can for sure one-shot this. But not with HE. Could maybe get an AP shot in there. Go ahead and try that. Oh, he dropped. Fuck. Playing with your throttle knob's a good way to dodge shots, but you don't want to slow down too much with these Japanese cruisers because they're one of their maneuverability advantages is the speed of the ship. Alright. Should kill that guy right there. Primarily trying to kill that Benson still. He's still trying to kill the John Bart. Queen Elizabeth I'm not massively worried about. He's in a fail platoon, so he can do damage to the Megami on the side. Jesus, dude, what are you doing? Alright, we're gonna stop. He's coming around. Probably don't need those torps, but it's gonna add some problems for him. Should be able to kill him right here, though. We'll pop the sonar. That should bring him back up. Wow. That surprised me. Oh, look out. What? I don't think that torp would miss him. Finally opens up with those guns. He could have conceivably done about 20k damage on me with the AP into that broadside had he been ready for it. I don't know why he wasn't going to get undetected at that range, especially when that sonar icon pops up on the screen, letting him know that that's what he's dealing with. Megami or Otago, they're both extremely strong. For tier 7 cruisers right now, I'd rank them 1-3, Martel, Otago, and Megami, and you can put them in whatever order you want, really. They're all extremely powerful in terms of damage they can do. The Japanese ones are slightly more survivable due to their speed, and they got slightly better armor schemes, I believe. So, I'd say the Japanese ones are a little bit more beginner-friendly than the Martel, but in terms of raw DPM, damage per minute, really can't go wrong with them. Yeah, and I'm surprised that front gun cleared that, but that's alright. This guy's trying to ram him. What the fuck, dude? Yeah, Baltimore is angled to us, but that's alright. We can burn him down pretty good. We're just going to use this island right here. Use the torp indicator to gauge his heading. Now they do have the destroyer on our base, so we got to keep that in mind. We don't have to react to it immediately. But that battleship probably wants us to react. Problem is he's got a turret supporting him. I don't want to push too aggressively into the turrets. He hasn't decided to target me yet. Now he does, finally, we notice. So, I was being a little casual with the angling there, but now we turn away. And we bounce most of those shells. British cruisers, like the American cruisers, are going to have improved penetration angles, so if he was aiming those shots well, he could still be dealing damage with me, even with this angle that's not steep enough. You got to be basically straight at him to bounce shells against the American cruisers, especially the Baltimore. Alright, now we got to get over here and defend. This sucks because this turrets can actually kick the fuck out of us. But there's not much we can do about it. Baltimore is burning. That should kill him. That gonna hurt. Fuck. So I'm being pushed out of the base right now, which is a good play. That's why that battleship supporting that destroyer is a big, strong play. I can't spot the destroyer yet. He actually got off the cap, which is important to note. It doesn't say contested. So now I don't have to hold that as aggressively. We can go back to kiting and dodging. Oh, he's over here. Interesting. Now he's back on the base. No, that's the battleship that's on the base, actually. Got me good. But you can see, I mean, a lot of those, when you get into this angle right there, a lot of times players are going to be shooting short, like the majority of those did. You probably actually missed the shot on paper just due to the dispersion of the German guns. If you hit that one, would be my guess. Doesn't make it any less of a good shot. Oh, that one was better. Yeah, if my team can get on the base and kill that cruiser, we should win, because... Fuck. Nice play. I gotta kill this guy before I die. I will die, but I gotta hit him. Fuck! That's too bad. That might have cost us the game. Now we have... Well, this middle ship could reset. Yeah, that's too bad. That probably cost us the game. But yeah, that's, you know, probably a 4K times our HP damage. That's what the Japanese cruisers can do. What's up, Zeb? How you doing? I think the British cruisers will be very underplayed. Not initially, but in the long term, they're going to be very hard to play, so... After the dust settles, when you see the British cruisers, you're probably going to be going against good players in them. Who do I have on fire? Must have been the Tirpitz. It's too bad, because if this guy could kill this cruiser, we could actually win, but he doesn't appear to be able to do so. What you're evaluating is, do they have anyone within range to reset this guy once he stops shooting? Because right now, this guy's resetting this base. But this guy's going to keep getting reset by him, so I don't think we can win that one. Excuse me. Would be good to have something to tell what the enemy shells have done. Yeah, it would be helpful. It'd probably get a little cluttered. I mean, that's why I try and explain what the icons do on our screen now, because a lot of players don't know what those mean, but... first we'll talk about the Rudder Shift. So we'll look at the Megami for an example. Alright, so Mod 2 steering gears. We have 20%, so you were right about that. And then this one's 40%. Again, the easier setup for most players is going to be double steering gears. That's how I ran the Megami for a long time. As I was getting better with them, I would recommend steering gears slot 2 and 3. Once you get the hang of that, then switching this to concealment. You can see we're still pretty good at dodging those shots. But the incoming fire dispersion boost and the detectability, if you can get that on, it would help. But if you're having trouble staying alive, steering gears should be your first bet in these two slots. Then we're going to look at Mikawa. And here we have, this is a level 15, so this is a very high level Mikawa. But we have a 10% reduction here and another 4 here. This could be 5 if I went to 16, but that's not worth the extra percent yet. So, but we'll say 15%. So we got 20, 40 plus. So we have a 75% reduction possible for this guy. Slightly higher if we spend $5,000 getting him max legendary, but anyway. So that's the power of this build. You have this indicator that says when you're getting targeted. That's the number that pops up by that icon. Very valuable. We use that constantly when available. And we have traverse speed 2 degrees per second. That's huge. Massive boost to the thing. And I'll demonstrate the turret traverse difference here. And then I got speed over here. I used to use this one. I think speed's probably a little bit better, at least for the Japanese. That's a massive increase in the maneuverability and dodgeability of that ship. Yamamoto, you have this option right here. 4%, maybe 5% when you get them to the 16. Not that big compared to 20, compared to 40, compared to 15. 4% is a drop in the bucket for that. So not, if you're not going for the dodgeability to begin with, like you would be with using Yamamoto or Von Hipper or whoever, Von Mueller, I would just probably go with this because you're already going to not have that much dodgeability anyways. But let's compare the Megami turret traverse with Mikawa and Yamamoto. So right now, artillery turret traverse 25.6. We'll switch over to this guy. Same level, 15. 25.6 compared to 34.5. So that's about a 33% reduction in that turret traverse. That's huge on these ships. Like if you play the Mayoko or these tier 7s, which already have pretty bad turret traverse. It's just another perk that has Mikawa, you know, taking the cake. So I think Mikawa is extremely strong for these. In terms of British commanders, here's what I'm looking at for Fraser currently. Where is he? So my main goal was to get him up to 15. We did that today. Now we got a 5% increase from the AP pen there. We have a 4% here, and we got a 3% there. So 7 plus 4, what is it? 7 plus 5. We got a 12%. That's a huge increase in your AP pen. If we do get the Belfast or something that fires HE, we do have the option to put some HE buffs here. I'd probably run this for sure. Probably keep this. But if we're just playing the cruisers that have only AP, might as well increase the torp range. Not too useful, but not horrible. And then accuracy, again, going back to this just not being that effective compared to our other options. Cutting down the reload time, nice, but getting that extra consumable, which is an extra heal at tier 7, extra smoke for tier 6 and 7, we suspect. More sonar, more, you know, this and that. That's a pretty valuable thing to use, so. Mikawa must in the Myoko, yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're going to use Yamamoto, you can maybe get away with it on those tier 7s. But that 33% increase in the turret verse, you will definitely notice it. Especially when you're trying to dodge shots, open water. Getting those guns back on your target going to be a lot harder to do. But yeah, I mean, that's enough tier 7 cruisers, hopefully, to demonstrate that, you know, we had some pretty high damage games. We had some games where we had good impact. We had some run-of-the-mill games. You can't have a barn burner every time, but hopefully that gives you some ideas on how to help those tier 7 cruisers if you're having trouble. 10% range in Yamamoto, yes. That's definitely... And that's why I'm converting the French cruisers, or at least I'm strongly considering Lemon running those. Because I think the French cruisers playing towards max range is going to be really effective. So getting that range boost, that kind of cuts down on the impact of the low concealment, because of not, you know, you're not speccing for concealment necessarily on those builds. But that'll give you a little bit more of a buffer between the white line and the blue line. You got the same build on Fraser style? Yeah. That's... We can't know until the ships come out. Obviously, we'll probably make some adjustments, but... So you guys can give me some recommendations. I'm going to run to the bathroom quick. We'll see what you guys want to see. We can play for another 2-3 games. We'll see. Yeah. So one final thought on that. What was my final thought? Oh, it's gonna. I don't know. Getting back to the offensive versus defensive commanders, again, I'll probably make a video and flesh this out a little bit more, but I'd say for most players, the defensive ones are going to be easier to run. Not having that indicator, where's Rue? Not having this ingenious that gives you that indicator means to counter that, you have to have exceptional map awareness. You really got to know who's probably targeting you and then check their guns, visually confirm if they're aiming at you or not, and then dodge accordingly. That's a huge disadvantage. And not having the dodge ability means you have to be really good at dodging to begin with. So most players are not really good at dodging, and most players don't have really good map awareness. That's why I'm saying, in general, the defensive commanders, Rue, Mikawa. You could throw Scott. He's kind of a run-of-the-mill guy because he doesn't have that perk. Luchins, those type of guys, I think they're going to be easier for most players. Like to see me play the Dunkirk? Okay, Bismarck. Let's see. I like to see you suffer. What's my Aoba setup? Let's take a look. I'm sure I have steering gears and aiming systems. I'm in tier 5, you only get 2 mods, so that's usually what I would go with for cruisers. The prop mod helps starting and stopping if you're going to play more stationary, kind of more reliant on terrain. Sometimes it'll come more into play, but for ships, having that ability to dodge, again, this is a 20% reduction. That goes a long way. Bismarck. Let's play a Bismarck. I haven't played that ship for a while. And Dunkirk we could maybe do. Until they fix the Bismarck or give it the same buff that gave it to the Turpits, I just don't think it's that good of a ship. I probably have a secondary build on this guy. Yeah, we can keep this. I really don't like that setup, but I don't want to play with it right now. Yeah, Dunkirk, if you remind me after this game, we could maybe give that one a look. Dunkirk's kind of a mini Richelieu, which is a good ship, so. Shards again. This is Shards Sunday. I guess we should rename the stream. Oh, Yamamoto. No, that one I haven't decided 100%. I think, excuse me. I think the Aoba has better turret traverse. Let me double check. 23 with Mikawa. Yeah, I'd probably run Mikawa on all these. Furuataka. Yeah, the turret traverse is just so bad. Adding a third more on all these numbers. I mean, I'm looking at the tier 3 cruisers. You can maybe run Yamamoto on those. Oh, great. We got 1 million destroyers here. We got a Biscuit, Sasashio, Division. Yeah, this is probably not going to work. But we'll try it anyways. Charlemagne. Yeah, I just played like 10 cruiser games, so maybe I'll hold off on those for now, but Charlemagne's an excellent cruiser. Got 200k plus games in the Otago, yeah. Well, that ship can... I don't think I've ever scored quite that high, but can definitely do some damage. Planes for battleships, I like to save them to spot torps. But this... If you spawn B, a lot of times your plane will spot the target on the other side. Just because of how close they spawn. So we'll see if they spot anything there. They do, briefly, so we need to get ready to take that shot. Probably not going to do too much damage there. But they do have their destroyer on the base. Oh, they got 2 Scharnhorst. I'm not massively afraid of those guys. This is mostly tier 6s. Okay, so we got a Turpentine in Alabama we got to worry about. This fucking thing. Oh, I don't have torps. Thought I was in the Turpits for a second. Yeah, so this guy's trying to torp me. We know that. Let's see if the secondary / main guns can do anything against this guy. Come on, you little fuck. Yeah, look at those fireworks. Just tear that thing to shreds. Completely worthless. C-23, yeah, that's a good one. I'll see. We can maybe play, 3-4 more games. Let's get the sonar. I don't know what the range on the Bismarck sonar is. I might be able to spot him. Yes, we do there. Might have turned out of that. We'll see. We got him pretty good. I only saw one salvo there, so we do need to be careful of torps potentially, but we do have the sonar active, so we should get a bit of an early warning. These guys, if they're in a division, which they are, they might try and rush me and torp me. There's not a lot I can do about that, but ideally I'd like to get that destroyer killed. Alright, now we're fucked. There's part of the play that I'm working on constantly, and I think most players would benefit from, is recognizing when your flank is going down. This guy back here, these two guys aren't helping me at all. But right now I got 1, 2, 3, plus that destroyer, plus this guy over here. I got like 4 or 5 ships that are currently thinking about killing me. So we're gonna sail away from the destroyer. Oh, there's probably a destroyer right there, too. Oh, I could have actually captured that base. That sucks. But capturing the base is kind of secondary right now because we have 1 base per side. This biscuit we can kill. Or not kill, but we can hit him. So that's a 10k with the least accurate setup on the least accurate tier 7 battleship. We still got him for 35k. So if you tell me you can't hit a destroyer at range, just shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear about it. Laggy again? Okay. Sorry. We'll get it fixed. Hang on, hang on. Sorry about that. No, it should be ready. Should be coming back up here shortly. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Nope, it's coming back. It's coming back. Hang on. Yeah, it'll take just a sec to kick back in, but it should be back for you now. You can let me know if that helped or not. I gotta figure out what's going on with this thing. Better now? Yeah. Yeah, I don't... It's beyond me what's causing that. I wish I knew. That's like 2 streams in a row I've had an issue. Anyway, now we can focus on the game again, see what's going on here. Gonna flip around to that Scharnhorst. Press the magic button. I basically just shut the stream completely down and then started it up again. It seems to fix it, but ideally we'd just rather get it so it doesn't do that in the first place. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's always good to lose 50% of your viewers in 2 seconds because of technical difficulties. Alright, so Scharnhorst Torp range I think is 6 km. Or is it 8? No, I think the Tirpitz is 8. Scharnhorst I believe is 6. So we're safe right now from the Torp. His guns, well, they're going to do some damage. I'm not worried about them. If they're going to shoot HE, that'd actually be a stronger shot, probably. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta do some research on that technical. I'm not a computer type. Little hip fire while we're at it. But our secondaries will get resets on these guys, which is nice. We'll get a little bit of damage. Ship in the back. I don't know if you guys saw that one. This could be a problem. Yeah, that's a Tirpitz right there. I'm just trying to get these bases reset. We're probably going to die doing this, but if I can whittle these guys down, maybe kill one of them at least, that'd be nice. Oh, fuck. Team just shits the bed, apparently. It's not the teammates, it's the technology. Nothing is easy in life. That's alright. Appreciate everyone sticking around though. I can usually figure it out. It's just gonna take me a second to see that something's up and then get the fix implemented. A little too broadside there. You can actually maybe start doing some decent damage. Hey Dawson, what's happening? We might have to put that fire out, unfortunately. That's getting a little low. The heal's about a minute away, unfortunately. That's the main consideration there.
Problem solved, sir.
Yeah, this ship is the one that I should be angled against. Let's try that. Now, 2 overpens might not sound like a lot, but that's probably 2-3k damage, and for that ship that was already low, that's not insignificant by any means. Come on, heal. Fuck, they got the base. Yeah, not gonna get healed in time, unfortunately. Motherfucker. Are you late? Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't ever consider people late whenever you can show up, so it's great. But you missed the good chunk of the cruiser play, which we were highlighting today. So yeah, Bismarck, I mean, that's not going to go down as a high damage game. That's probably a decent score game, though, if you got 18 resets. We'll see if these guys die quick enough to look at the score. But 18 resets, this is probably, you know, upper... Well, it's not going to be 2s because we lost, but... Let's see. What's this other ship doing? Oh, look at this guy. Alright. This might take too long to demonstrate. 200k damage John Bart game. Still couldn't get the win, yeah. Saturday, Sunday. It's just, why that happens is just a lot of players that don't have a lot of time to put into the game, they might get an hour or two a week to play on the weekends. That's why you're usually going to see a lot of people with a little bit less skill. Oh, Like that guy. Freaking ship needs a buff. Yeah, it's not good. I don't ever play that ship. I think once they do what they did to the Turpits to that, if they do, which I would assume they would. Yeah, well, that Sharnors did better than us. The Sharnors gets the premium penalty boost, though, or the premium XP buff, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so how you want to figure out, if you want to compare your score on a losing game to the guys in the winning time, you can just times your score times 0.5. So we got 21,000 would be our score. So this team right here did a really good job. This is another indication. If you have a tier 6, 7 game where you got 3, 4, 5 guys in the 2000s, no offense, Coxie, if you're watching, but really this entire team, except for Coxie, played pretty well. And then the breakdown here, where if you have couple 2, 3 guys, you know, these aren't great scores, but they're not bad. But then you get a bunch of guys who are getting doubled or tripled by those top scores, and that's just not going to work very well. 238 in the Bismarck. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't do good damage on that one. Oh, let's see who we got for the crate. It's just a lot. Your average damage in the Bismarck, I would assume, is lower than your average damage in other battleships, unless you're a really good Bismarck player. But Cunningham, god damn. Let's see how many more. Yeah, I only need 14 more copies of Cunningham before we can go to Legendary 4. So it'll be about 4 more years we'll get him boosted. Now let's try the Dunkirk, though. We were talking about the Dunkirk earlier. It's a pretty fun ship. Arkansas. Yeah, we could maybe do that. See, F1, that's a good example of a game that shouldn't be in my replay section. If you have a 238k game, the replay section is submitting games where you're asking me, how can I improve on this game? So, how are you going to improve on that game? Get slightly better dice rolls than the already really good dice rolls you got? Probably. Thanks for the stream. No problem. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry about the technicals. Again, I don't know how to fix them. But I know how to fix them, but I don't know how to prevent them. But I'll do some digging around this week and see if I can... Bit of a joke when it comes to wargaming and balancing. I don't know if it's a joke. It's just there's two philosophies that we were talking about earlier. Do you want to balance them for your average player or what the ship's capabilities are? And so that's why I'm expecting, as a, say, a pretty decent cruiser player, which is the hardest class for your average ship player to play. I'm just expecting my average damage to go way up here once they buff them yet again, which I strongly suspect they will. So I'm not going to complain if they buff the cruisers, but some of you guys who wind up in my games might be. Flammable mini Richelieu, yeah. I play it similarly. If you know if you watch my Richelieu videos, I try and just get into a spot and then make them dislodge me from it. This could be a bit of an issue, though. Our one support ship is sitting in the middle, so I don't think he's playing. But these ships in the... I guess we can blind fire this guy. Might be our only bet. See if he's moving or if he's sitting still. Yeah. Might have been over his head.
The ship is on fire.
C-23 or Fletcher. I'd say they're probably... I don't know. They're both damn good.
Torpedoes, direct front.
I think all the Tier 7 destroyers are really solid. If you're wondering why I'm spotted right now, it's the smoke fire penalty. You can check your ship's stats. But basically, battleships... mentally, just think you're negating your concealment by firing your guns. So even though these guys are in the smoke, they don't have a line of sight to me, but because I'm firing my guns, the noise alerts them to where I am. Cruisers, you get a medium smoke fire penalty. Destroyers, you basically get no smoke fire penalty. It's extremely rare that it's going to be relevant. Let's see if he turns or not. No, he didn't. Yeah, Z-23 is probably a little bit better. I mean, it has the sonar, it has good guns. Probably better torps, although the American destroyers do have the best torps in terms of detectability, which means once they pop on the enemy's screen, they're not going to be able to dodge them very easily. Oh. Shit. Doesn't look like that fired as a lockdown shot. That's too bad. What is this? Scharnhorst. Alright. Boise, pay attention to what's going on around you, dude. Number one, the guy's trying to torp you.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Still shooting at the wrong fucking target. But that 3k, let's say we did a quarter of his damage, that's like doing 25k on a 100 HP ship. It's on the Yamato, if you hit him for 25,000 damage. Get the same amount of XP, basically, as doing a little 3,000 damage chip shot on that. There's a kill shot from that guy, nice torp. Fuck. Stack the single fire, not a lot I could do once those popped up on my screen. That would have been a good candidate for just abandoning the side once I had a Scharnhorst hiding behind the island to my left and a Boise sitting in the open to my right behind me. Kagero's better torps. It's got really good concealment. It has better concealment. People talk shit about the Kagero all the time. I think it's a really good ship. I thought they did nerf the Asashio, or the Akatsuki, to try and make the Kagero a little bit more appealing. They're both really still strong. Yeah, let's try Z-23 and see what happens. What do I think's next after the British cruisers? I would guess they might do another early release thing like they did with the Germans and the French, where we'll get like Soviet destroyer first and then Soviet cruisers the next update after that. So I think those are both ships lines that have been around on the PC version for quite a bit. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know a lot about the Soviet ships, but I could see him doing something like that. I could see him putting in American light cruisers to help the light cruiser population at high tiers. Could be another option. Alright, we got an Akatsuki and a Tago and a division. And then Battleship Central. So right now, if you get into a game like this, what's your thought process? Especially as a guy with twist and track, I got Bay, so I got that indicator on my screen you should be able to see, showing me where the nearest ship is. I'm hunting the DD, the destroyer. If I can find him and kill him, that'd be a huge advantage. In a game where most of your fleet's battleships, those destroyers are the kings. Now, I don't think they're here because they're in a division, and we already have 2 ships spotted. So I'm actually going to abandon this flank. We don't need to do anything against these guys yet. Most players would be thinking, alright, I got 300k worth of torp damage right here. Just going to sail into them and nuke them. But in terms of winning the game, if we can get rid of that, the enemy Z, or the Akatsuki, that'd be the best play. Doesn't mean we're not going to take this torp shot, but yeah, we're still getting indicators that these are the closest, I think. So we're going to move into B and attempt to capture that and then see if the destroyer is over there. Double capturing it with this guy right here is also moving in. Should be able to flip this cap pretty quickly. Yeah, that looks like the destroyer's probably... Where's their cruiser? Yeah, their destroyer's probably on A, would be my guess, so... Oh, no, we're getting spotted. There it is. Shit. That's a major problem. That surprises the living hell out of me, to be honest. Why am I not hitting this guy? Oh, that's a kill shot from him, looks like. It's too bad. I did not expect him to be there.
Smoke screen set.
Try and maneuver around that far right torp. Nice, alright. So that should be the game one right there, if we don't screw it up. There's the Atago. I'd like to get some torps on these guys. I only have 30 seconds left on this smoke charge. You gotta keep an eye on that. Or we're gonna just torp that gap. We got an Atago and whatever that battleship, I think is the Yamato behind them. Oops. Bismarck just... Oh, fuck. This guy's pushing in hard. We're gonna have to get out of here. You can see on the map he's gonna detect me before I can turn out of this, so I can't capture this base. My whole team's grouped up behind A. If they're smart, they're asking themselves, what am I accomplishing by holding this rearward position? And then the answer is absolutely nothing. But that, of course, was a big if on the front end of that statement. AP loaded. That's probably why I wasn't doing any damage to that Akatsuki. It's been happening a lot to me today, having the wrong shell. There's a shot we can... No, this guy's spotting us here. That could be a problem. Motherfucker. Alright, just gonna have to sail away and disengage. Keeping these destroyers alive is your main goal here, since they're so powerful. And I'm the last one alive, so... I'm too close to these ships right now. What's he doing? He's pointing right at that island, so we're gonna put one right there, and then one right there. This is actually not... I mean, the problem is they're controlling the middle of the map where all the objectives are, and we're controlling the rearward south portion of the map, which has no impact on the game whatsoever. Stream dead again? Jesus fucking Christ. That should temporarily solve the issue. Yeah, I don't know. Gotta go, David. Alright, bud. Thanks for the support, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, it should be back up online, but this is not acceptable. This is not the quality I want to be putting out, so... Stealing Spartan's Wi-Fi. That's not the internet, it's the program is having glitches. Yeah, thank you, David. Appreciate that. Apologize for the technicals. We'll have to figure it out, I guess. Yeah, it's maybe my stream software needs to be updated, or maybe I have an issue with my computer. I don't know what the problem is, but obviously it's a major problem. Yeah, try and kill that guy if we can. Pay 10k. Yeah. Might be worth it at this point.
Our team has taken the lead.
Problem is, every time I do that, then I'm effectively out of the game for 3 minutes trying to solve the problem. I don't know. Well, I'll see if I can get it figured out, but very frustrated. I mean, there's no problem with the internet. It's just this OBS is the program that most people stream from. It's just having problems for me, so... oops. None of these guys are looking at me, so we're going to take the shot. I do have smoke available to disengage once we kill this thing. The Otago is the biggest threat to me, and I'm the biggest threat to these battleships, so there you go.
Our victory is in sight.
Generator started.
He's not working that great at that angle.
Smoke screen.
The AA, that's probably pretty decent on the ship. It's not quite as good as the American destroyers, but I think it's serviceable. Alright. Use YouTube money to purchase dedicated streaming PC. I don't think you guys know how much money I'm making from this, but it's not enough to buy a PC yet. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to do some research. So out of the 100 times I've streamed, this has only been a thing that I've seen the last 2 streams, so it's something new. It might be an update or something to the software. But yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, we'll call it there. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the portion on the cruisers, though. If you're having trouble with them, there should be plenty of ideas on how to improve your cruiser playing those. And $3. It's more than $3, less than a PC. That's too bad. I don't know. It's just bizarre. Sometimes we've been having trouble with the mic cutting off, and then all I have to do is unplug the mic and plug it back in, and it works. And now this, all I essentially have to do is stop the program and start it again, but that will cause there to be about a minute gap where the stream looks like it ends and then starts back up again. Finally came to grips with the Algerie. Yeah, that one's a challenging ship, but I think it's pretty effective once you get it. Yeah, no problem, guys. Appreciate you guys all hanging out. I do appreciate that, as usual. It's always great to have great turnouts on these things. A lot of fun getting to hang out with you guys, talk to you. But until I can get the quality up to my standards, I might have to figure something out here. So, alright guys, have a good one. We'll see y'all later. Peace.